Hello, this is my first dance blog. I'm just going to start off just by briefly discussing what we did in lesson. We started off with a warm-up, well, two warm-ups really, a warm-up to a warm-up and then the warm-up. And then we did our arms and legs in separate warm-ups. We worked on core, we did isolations. Then we moved on to splits technique, and after that we took like pictures of ourselves to identify where we're at, to show, like, so in 4 weeks time, let's say, if we keep taking pictures, we'll be able to notice the increase in flexibility. And then we had a break. Then we come back and we did a warm-up again. Then we moved on to like footwork technique, like travelling steps, triplets, leaps, chaînés, and also pirouettes technique as well. And that was the end of the lesson after all of that. Okay. I'll start off with my personal fitness and stamina. Really, it has declined because I've not done any dance for about 16 weeks, I'd say. I've obviously been I've been going to the gym every now and then, and I've got an active job, but I've not focused on my fitness. And I can tell I found the warm-ups quite a lot harder than I can remember. But my stamina is still there. I've always found myself as someone that has a lot of stamina, but I do get out of breath quite easily. It's possibly because I'm a smoker, but I will not be a smoker in October, which will be quite interesting, actually, to say the least, because last year when I did dance, I was a smoker all the way through. I do get out of breath quite easily, but now I'm doing Stoptober and I'm stopping. I'll be able to keep updating this every week in my blogs, and I can mention what's getting better, like if I feel myself getting out of breath less, if I can feel my fitness overall improving, which would be very helpful, really, since it's a very active thing and you need breath, and you do need your overall fitness to be quite good for this. Okay. Also, with when we was warming up our arms and legs, the arm warm up was painful, in a word, and also the legs were my flexibility has it. I'm still quite flexible, but it's not as much as I remember being, which is again, it's not great because of all the work that we did on it before, and I've kind of not worked on my flexibility over this massive holiday that we've had, which is kind of my own fault. And I can definitely tell now, so it's been a bit of an eye-opener to make sure that I maintain it, and don't just give up on it, don't just leave it, because it will decline back into the state that it is now. I think my stamina, overall has gone down a little bit. My posture has gone a bit bad, and my balance has always been terrible. It's something that I've mentioned in every single blog that I can ever remember doing. It's awful, but it did get a little bit better if I remember rightly. I can try holding my ear and looking at different points on the wall and the stuff that people usually say to try, but it's always been one of them that I've just never been able to balance properly. I think it's possibly the dyspraxia, which is, it makes me not enjoy it as much, makes me not enjoy the lesson as much, because I'm getting wound up at myself because I feel like it's my fault, and I feel like, not that I feel stupid, but I don't feel like I'm able to be as good as I could be because of this like mental thing, and it's incredibly frustrating, and it puts an extremely bad mindset when I like slip over, or when I'm trying to balance and I'm falling over to the side and things like that, and no one can really understand how it feels unless they have it themselves, and it's extremely frustrating. The posture wise, I've noticed that I've I have to keep altering myself, and I've kind of, my muscle memory has not forgot it, but I had to keep putting myself correcting myself and straightening myself up, and making sure that I'm in the right position and everything like that, which is something again which I've got to work on. I'm going to list my my SMART goals here as well, since we're on the subject of skills. Okay, so my first one would be trying to get better splits. I find it extremely difficult. I am quite flexible, but my legs absolutely, like, they hurt so much the morning after, and I was only like splitting as much as I kind of used to, but as the time has passed since I was there before, I can tell it's definitely affected me. So my target is to be able to get a little bit further down with splits, possibly on my right leg, because I feel like my right one is better. Improve that, maybe get a little bit lower, not exactly bang on splits, but just to try and improve that as much as I can, and I'll probably say in about maybe, I'd say in a good 6 weeks time, I think, with doing exercises at home and doing the stuff in class, I believe I will get to where I want to be, where I can do it comfortably, and not have to like worry about doing splits. So that's the reason I've picked that one. My second one is to just, again, like with balance, is to try and get it to a point where I can actually, where I can balance, because it's such a big thing, and how it will affect me is massively. It'll affect me not just in dance, not just in this performing arts or anything like that, but just in general in life. It'll help me so much. It's one of them horrible things which I really wish wasn't part of me, but it is. I just have really bad balance, so I'm hoping that it's just going to be a basic, I'm just going to stand on on like one leg to start off with. I'm just going to stand on one leg and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until my time improves, and I plan to do that probably once a day, maybe, just the once, and time myself, and then change legs between days, and hopefully I'll be able to see an improvement. If I don't after 6 weeks, I think it's something that I'm just going to have to accept, that I don't think I won't be as good as other people when it comes to that, which isn't nice, but I guess that's just the way things are. And it would be really nice. It'd make me a lot happier, and I'd feel a lot better in lesson. But I guess the proof is in the pudding, and we will find out how that goes. My third target is quite a big one. It's the space that we work in isn't great for people without confidence. I mean, I've been doing it for 6 years now, in that space, and I still hate it just as much as the first day we started 6 years ago. I'm not a confident dancer. Personally, I don't believe I can dance. I don't, well, not dance well anyway, up to a standard where I feel comfortable showing people. I've never been confident in dance. The only thing I was confident in was tap, and even then, I mean, I wasn't the best at that, but I was confident with it, so I didn't really mind as much. But with jazz, and this is the main reason that I have any kind of dislike for the lesson, is this reason. People round the top, like it's a big open space, and people round the top, they're not generally nice people. They try and put you down, or they interrupt the lesson, or sometimes they throw things, and usually like when it's the acting side of things, I'd be okay with it because I'm quite confident in acting. But when it's dancing, I'm not a confident dancer, and when I'm trying to learn new things, even though I know that I'm not a great dancer, and I'll never be like an amazing dancer, and I'm okay with that. Like, I think when I'm trying to learn something, or I'm trying to boost myself, or even trying to improve my own confidence in my talent in dance, it always gets inhibited by the horrible people around the top of the dome. And I know we can't change the space. We don't have another space to work in. We can't rebuild the building just for the sake of a few classes. But it's an awful place to work in, at times. Not always, but it's not great, and it makes me not want to try. I'll always will try, I'll always do my best, but the more people that are around, and the more people that are trying to put down the dancers that are in this space, for whatever reason, whether it's out of boredom, or whatever the reason is, it's very hard to want to improve and to want to try when you've got people judging you all the time, and taking the mick out of something that you want to do, which isn't a great thing for someone who lacks self-confidence, and I do. So that's my target is to try to build up my confidence in dance. It's a general overarching thing. I can't really set a time scale because I don't know how long it'll take me to become comfortable with it. Like I say, it's been 6 years and I still feel awful about it. So my target is to be okay with people around the top of the dome, and to not actually pay attention, and not to let them bother me, because I can pretend they don't bother me all I want, but it's always there in the back of my mind that when they're around, and it puts me off so much. I try not to let it show, I try and ignore it, but it really does throw me off, and it's quite a shame really, because I think I actually could enjoy the lesson if they weren't round the top. So hopefully this year will be my year of gaining the confidence in dance that it won't bother me. I will keep it posted on my blogs how I feel in each lesson, and how much it affects me or bothers me. So that's my last target. Then we went on to I'll say we were working on technique, like the footwork, I think I'm better at the footwork now than I was at the start of the footwork last year, which is good. I'm pushing my feet forward, pushing my feet through more, and trying to keep my leg as straight as possible, which is good. My I'm still trying to get it's another balance thing. I'm still trying to make it so I can keep perfectly upright and straight and have my leg out, like moving the directions which we need to. I'm still trying to find a way, because my balance is one of the biggest things. If I can get over this balance thing, I think my overall skill in dance, in every subject or every subcategory of dance, will improve vastly. Because I'm always focusing, rather than focusing on the footwork itself, I'm focusing on not falling over, or not losing my balance, which is it's quite frustrating, because I really do want to get it right, but I just can't when I'm focusing on not dropping to the floor. Traveling, I have lost a little bit of the technique in that. I travel a little bit heavier. It wasn't on my toes as much as I used to. I noticed afterwards that I need to improve that again, and it was mentioned by the tutor that I needed to walk a bit more on my toes, and let it be a lot more smooth, which I can improve and do next on next lesson. Trying it backwards was difficult, really odd. I didn't particularly like it, but I'd give it a go. I'd give it a go to the best of my ability, and I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't do too badly, I don't think, but I had to look behind me and where I was going, which doesn't look how it's meant to. I'm meant to keep my eyes forward, but I just couldn't to start off with, which was quite strange. Then HNDs. Now I don't know whether this is a side effect of dyspraxia, or this god awful balance thing that's lodged into my brain. Even when I spot, and I can spot okay, I get really dizzy when I spin, and it's always been a thing. Last year I tried HNDing one after another without prep between each one, but it was just a no-no. I get really dizzy and feel really ill when I spin, when I keep spinning. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if that is one thing that I can get over. Only time will tell, and obviously I'll keep trying, I won't give up. I'm going to be tenacious with it, but I find it very difficult, very, very difficult. And that is one thing I'm actually quite worried about, because I don't want to feel sick in lessons. That's one thing, but if there's a piece of dance that we have to do and it involves that, I fear that I won't be able to do it, which is quite not a very nice feeling. Then we went on to leaps. I found it, we were told not to kick our leg up at the back, like you push your leg through, leap, and keep your leg like straight. But I don't know why. I really tried to keep it straight, like I was really properly focusing on keeping it straight, but I kept kicking my foot up at the end, which was strange, because I genuinely thought I was keeping it straight, and I was forcing myself to keep it straight, and it didn't. It kept flicking up. So that's something I'm going to have to work on. and it's something I'm going to have to improve, because obviously it's a good part of technique, and it doesn't look dance. If I flick the leg up, it looks like I'm just hopping over a fence. Okay, I'll just list a couple of strengths. I think my strength is quite good. Like how I hold myself. I don't like feel too tired when I do it. I don't ache easily. I can hold myself up really well without like having to break or anything like that, which is a good thing. My sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Yes, one of my strengths, listening to feedback. Sorry, and taking in feedback and direction of what to do. I try and apply whatever I'm told to do. I don't focus myself on my own ideas of something. I won't say, oh no, this is how I want to do it, or anything like that. I always take the feedback and try and apply it to myself, even if I don't think it feels right, or even if I think it looks odd. I always just get on with it, really, which is another strength, I believe. And also, I mean, even though it has declined, I think my fitness is still a strength, because I've noticed, even though I am quite a wide set guy, quite for use of a better word, a bit of a unit, when it comes to comparing to the others in the class. But I've noticed during the warm-ups, I can sometimes be, it looks like, well, it feels like I'm not trying harder than them, but it feels like I could go more than, in some exercises, it feels like I could go more than they could, and I could actually carry on doing the warm-up, and I wouldn't have to stop there, sort of thing. So I think that's good, fitness wise. So that's another strength of mine. I will upload the photos of the flexibility that I took in lesson. I'll upload them, and I will continue to take pictures and see how I improve, and then I think that's about everything. Just have a double check. Yes, and that's the end of my blog. Thank you.